There once was a man looking for the perfect wife. He searched towns and cities, but nobody pleased him. Until one day, in a village not far from his home, he met a woman that absolutely intrigued him. Her skin was as smooth as porcelain, but he didn't care about that. Her hair was as soft as silk. He didn't care about that either. What he liked most about this woman, more than any other woman he had ever seen, was the fact that her right arm was made entirely of gold. He thought that arm was beautiful. He would court her in the morning so he could see the sun bouncing off the gold. He would court her in the evening so he could see the moonbeams shining on the gold. And she found that he was so attentive and sweet that after only 3 weeks of courting, he begged her to marry him, and she said yes. She came and lived in his home, and she was very good to the servants, and she ran the house very well. She went out into the village and she gave away food and clothes, and everyone that met her loved her. She was wonderful. But even for all of her good qualities, her body was very frail. And after only 1 year of being married, sadly, she died. The husband wore the blackest of clothes. He mourned for her. He wept tears. He brought everyone to the house so that they could have a feast in her honor. And then when everyone had gone home, he sent all of the servants away. He crept into the backyard and went to the shed. He took a shovel and he checked inside of his jacket to make sure he had the silver pouch. He crept through the village, past all the quiet houses, until he got to the cemetery. He creaked open the iron doors and crept inside. And there were all the tombstones and the graves, and he walked and walked until he came to a fresh mound of earth. And there he began to dig. He dug for almost an hour until he had a great big pit, and in the bottom of the pit was a coffin. He reached inside and took out his silver pouch, and from inside the pouch he had a knife. And with the knife he broke the lock on the coffin and he opened it up. And there lay his lovely wife. Already her porcelain skin was drying out, and her beautiful silken hair was beginning to fall. But he didn't care about that. He took his silver knife and he cut off her golden arm. He left the knife in the coffin. He took the beautiful arm and he tucked it inside his coat. Closed up the coffin, put back all the dirt so no one would know he'd been there, and he crept home. He waited and waited. 3 days. No one noticed. And then he opened up his drawer and took out the golden arm. Oh, it was spectacular. He couldn't put it down. He walked around with it all day. He even couldn't put it down at night, so he put it under his pillow. And he laid down, and he could feel the coldness pressing through the feathers. It was lovely. He was just starting to drift off to sleep when he heard something. He sat up, and there was an eerie mist forming at the foot of his bed. He looked into the mist, and there was his wife. "Oh," he said, how lovely to see you, my dear. I missed you. I really missed you. and he noticed that her skin was beginning to peel. "Oh, my dear, you had such beautiful skin. What's happening to your skin?" he said. And she said, "All withered and wasted away." Oh, that's too bad. And then he noticed that her hair was falling out. "Oh, and you had such beautiful silken hair. Everyone admired your hair. I always loved your hair. What's happening to your hair, dear?" And she said, "All withered and wasted away." "Oh, that's too bad," he said. And then, of course, he noticed that the golden arm was missing. "You had a beautiful golden arm," he said. "I always admired that arm. What happened to your beautiful arm?" he said. And she said, "You got it!" I'd like you to try telling that story to someone and see if you can make them jump at the end. That's called a traditional jump story, and you're supposed to make the audience jump up. Think about how I did the ending of the story. It's done in a pattern. He asks about her skin, and she says, and I put my hand in the same place, and I look the same way, and the line is, "All withered and wasted away," very, very quietly. So the audience has to lean forward. And then when he asks about her hair, "What about your beautiful hair?" You set up the same way, hands in the same place, eyes the same way, and whisper again, "All withered and wasted away." And then when you come to the third time in the pattern, and he asks about the arm, you ask the same way, and she responds like she's going to say the same thing, hands the same place, eyes the same way. Start to actually shape the word all and go, "You got it," and jump towards the audience. Good luck scaring them.